What's up? Today's just going to be kind of a maintenance video. If you don't know about this car, I have a video of when I bought it, but basically it's a completely bone stock LS Integra I bought for a daily driver. It has a bent valve in it, but it's been driving with the bent valve since 80,000 miles, and it is currently at, 209, so almost 201,000. But regardless, one of the issues with this car, besides a bent valve issue, is the window hasn't worked since I got it. It sounds like the Vietnam War, basically, when you press a button. Yeah, so I actually haven't even tried to roll it down since I bought the car. I always just kept it up. So let's see what happens when I roll it down. Oh, it kind of goes down. So I believe it's a window regulator, but I gotta take the door off to find out. I had a car that the window was jacked up on before. I've only had to do this once, but actually the window itself came unbolted from the regulator. But with how this sounds, I think it is the actual regulator. And I have the door, actually the rec door off of my GSR Integra, and regulator and everything's good in that one. So if it is, then I'm just gonna swap it out. Also, this door never had the little arm right here that kind of keeps the door from whipping open. So I have one laying around somewhere from all the dang doors I've swapped and whatnot. So I could put one of those on while I had the door apart as well. Broke one. These things, they're always broken, as I just broke it now, but those hold it in so it doesn't flop around even after the screws in there. But I want to take that off. And then obviously once you get the panel off, you want to take these clips out for the switches, and if you have tweeters, take the tweeter one out, and then your door panel will be free. And I have this switch. This is actually from that red door off the GSR. The switch is just really sloppy, so I swapped it out when I put the new door in. I'm just going to use this to operate the window, make my life easier so I don't have to take the switch out of that door. But yeah, it's just a lot more convenient. And I'm going to take this off because it's just gross and falling apart anyways. And I'm going to have to get in here. Also, I'm going to take the speaker out because that's probably going to be in the way as well. Well, right off the bat, this little plastic thing is supposed to be on the end of here, on the ball, so that might be causing some of the issue. I mean, it's struggling to go up. It's definitely not straight. Another issue out here in Montana is how much dirt and stuff blows around, and it just gets in these tracks and wears it out quicker because they're not lubricated, or the lubrication wears out rather, it dries it all up. So that might have been one of the issues too. I'm gonna look at it a little more, like on the other side, and see if maybe I can get away with straightening the window a little bit. So I may have actually found the issue. I was kind of peeling this back. This stuff is gross. And saw this bolt right here. It looks like one's missing, or right here. And it's causing the window to just kind of move around. So you can see it moving right there. Oh, I guess the wire's in the way. Hold on. Okay, so if I lift up on the window, you can see that whole thing is moving. It's obviously worn out too. So even up this one up here is all worn out. So I might actually just get away with finding some bolts and tightening it up, but I don't know how damaged these holes are. And just for reference, on the GSR door, this is what it's supposed to look like. So they don't even have the right bolts in there on the green car. So I'm gonna try to just throw bolts in there and align it, and maybe that just solves my issue. I was actually just moving that plastic crap I ripped off there and found two of the bolts that are supposed to be in the window regulator. So I got these bolts in. Threads were pretty stripped on the window regulator because it looks like these got loose, backed out, and then fell off, obviously. So I got it going though. I put a longer one in there and worked it in, and now it works fine. So I'm basically going to try to just get the window to go up and down. I might put it in the up position all the way and then tighten them and see if that will allow it to straighten out on the way down and go from there. That's weird because it doesn't even sound like a AR-15 anymore. So let's tighten these up. I don't know the proper way to actually align one of these, so we're just gonna send it. Especially since these are all rounded out. Oh, this is actually even bent. The door itself. This thing got all jacked up. The lady must have used the window quite a bit for a while until, I don't know, because this is pretty wore out. Well, I guess I just got lucky on this one. So I just kind of pushed on the front of the window and tightened it up. That was the only adjustment I had to do. Obviously these holes are just beyond repairable unless you want to get out a welder and try to fix this really thin metal, which I don't have the skills or patience to do. I'd rather just switch the whole door out if I got to that point, but it works now. So I'm just going to lube up the rails and everything and put it back together, I guess. So this little rubber seal in here. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, there you go. So that is what the window rides on. Right here as well. The rubber seal, I found it down here in the door, so I just popped that back in. And this is what I'm using. It's probably something better, but this is what I got. Silicone grease. So I'm gonna spray that a little bit. I just did, and then spray these rails, and also on these Integras. This valley right here on the door, that is where, like, there's a little, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little nub on the window. So that little nub right there rides inside there. So spray some down in here as well, and hopefully it'll be a lot smoother now. So actually I just read the label, and it is meant for rubber seals and all that, so I guess I made a good decision. I kind of just grabbed it and started spraying. Don't do that because it's usually not good, but it's just what I had, and conveniently it is the perfect use. Guess what I almost forgot? This. Yep, this is what lack of sleep does to you. You just forget everything. And trying to film everything I do, I just lose track. But weird, the screws are, or the bolts are still here, so I'm guessing the thing got yanked out or something. Yeah, it's missing the little arm. But here's the one out of my other door. That's why I hoard parts, because I eventually use them and then I can fix my car for free. I even hoarded the pins off of the doors because why not? It's really easy to put these in. You just line it up and then tap it in like a house door basically. And then once it gets on that little ring right there, it's all the way down. Now, take two putting this back together. Always just hook up your clips first, so you don't have to take off the door again. Or door panel, rather. And just keep track of this one, because this is the one that's gonna have to go up to your unlock button. So just make sure you don't pin it on something. And just for reference, this one with the shoulder is the one that goes up in here. The one for like every other trim piece in a Honda is these guys, but these are just slightly different. Well, there it is, all back together. The switch. I gotta replace the switch when I find a decent one. But obviously it's not going to go up extremely fast and all that because it is old, and it's about how all the other Integras I have go up and down. But I guess that just goes to show, before you go buying parts, check and see what the problem is, because this is the second car I've had that had a bad window regulator, and I pull it out or pull the door panel apart and stuff is just loose because it was improperly installed or whatever when it was messed with before. Who knows? Someone was definitely in here before because those other bolts weren't factory. But it is nice because honestly I've been putting it off and I have been lazy because I just didn't want to deal with it. And I've just been driving my other car, my GSR, half the time just because I didn't want to deal with this window not rolling down, like if I went to the bank or whatever, because I had to open the door, get out. It's just inconvenient. So goes to show, just don't be lazy, take it off. And that's my own, I guess, fault, but simple fix. Anyways, if you liked the video or if it helped you, I appreciate a like. Subscribe if you want to keep up with the projects. Obviously this is kind of more of a how-to video, but as I said in my last post or whatever, I'm going to start trying to film like every week to stay consistent for the YouTube algorithms. So I'll just film random stuff that I do during the week with cars, and this is kind of just a lesson learned and whatever to help you if you're going to waste the money on a window regulator or whatever. Just pull it apart and make sure nothing's loose first. Mostly with older cars. I mean, newer cars, they're not as finicky like this, and they haven't been tampered with as much because they haven't been through as many owners. But anyways, subscribe if you want to keep up with the other projects, and I appreciate you watching.